2022 has, in my opinion, been a roller coaster year for AEW. You had Tony Khan buying Ring of Honor. You had wholesome moments like the Acclaim winning the AEW World Tag Team titles, the Devil himself, MJF, cutting the Pipe Bomb 2.0, thus many months later winning the AEW World Championship. You even had other moments like Paige and Samoa Joe and others making their debut. But then, of course, with the ups, there come the downs, and definitely AEW's had some downs this year. The media scrum from hell, CM Punk calling Hangman Page an empty-headed dumb F, freaking the backstage fight, a dog getting knocked out, a man getting bit by another employee, Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston in their little altercation, Sammy Guevara and Andrade El Idolo in their little altercation. And, of course, you had other things like booking-wise decisions, like this ongoing feud that was the Jericho Appreciation Society and the Blackpool Combat Club. AEW has been a roller coaster year where they had some moments where it was like, yeah, that was so good. But then there was some other moments that was just like, yeah, that's just wasn't good. Like, get this off my TV. But outside of that, you can't argue the fact AEW has produced and put on so many great matches this year for their company. So great that there are exactly top 10 exact matches for AEW. And that's what this video is all about, man. The top 10 AEW matches of 2022. The WWE one will be coming out tomorrow. A few disclaimers here before I get the top 10 AEW matches. The first things first, there will be no Ring of Honor matches in this list. I know what people are going to trip on and say, how come FTR is, and the Briscoe brothers, the greatest trilogy tag team match of all time, how come that's not in the list? How come their match at Supercard of Honor, Final Battle, or Death Before Dishonor, how come it wasn't at the #1 list? How come Brian Cage isn't on the list? You know, stuff like that. I'm separating AEW from Ring of Honor because, quite simply, Ring of Honor needs to be its own separate company. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like that it would make sense to do that. This is not Ring of Honor. This is All Elite Wrestling. Now, once Ring of Honor gets in the fill of things, they got their little TV deal and stuff coming out. Who knows? Maybe we will do a Ring of Honor top 10 matches of the year for next year, maybe. And hell, maybe even this year. But for now, this is AEW matches. So all the matches that happen on Rampage and Dynamite, pay-per-views, like all the AEW stuff on here. And another thing, this list I'm going to put out, this is my opinion. This is my opinion. I know there's probably going to be some matches on this that you're going to be like, yo, hey, bro, I like your content and all, but I think you were wrong to doing that. I think Sheeta should have been on the list. You know, stuff like that. Again, this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with my list. And if you don't, then you don't. It's all good. It is what it is. And if you do, hey, that's cool. It is what it is. With that being said, I don't want to waste any time. Don't expect this to be heavily edited. I know the WWE video will definitely be heavily edited. But don't expect to see a lot of, like, photos here. I know other YouTubers are probably doing it, but I'm trying to keep a little cautious. Every time I put actual AEW pictures in here, they end up taking down the video because their copyright thing is just weird and BS. But anyways, let's not waste any time. Let's go to at number 10, Jon Moxley versus Willa Yuta on the April 8th, 2022 edition of AEW Rampage. This is a match that many people feel like or has dubbed the Star is Born. Obviously mentioning Willa Yuta as the star being born. Willa Yuta, the star in the making. The guy who's going to be I guess you can say, a main event player for AEW in the very near future. But he went up against Jon Moxley in this case, and I thought with the emotion of this match, the things they were doing in this match is, in my opinion, deserving on going on this list. I mean, for crying out loud, folks, they had Willa Yuta kick out of not one, but two paradigm shifts. And this is Jon Moxley we're talking about. You know, it's crazy to kick out of one paradigm shift, but to kick out of two, like, good Lord, Willa Yuta must have been on this John Cena mode that night. I mean, just kicking out like that. But definitely, in my opinion, deserving on being on the list. But obviously, it's at number 10 for a reason, because coming in at number 9, you had Sammy Guevara versus Andrade El Idolo versus Darby Allin. This was a three-way dance, triple threat, whichever one you want to call it. This was for the AEW TNT title match on the March 4th, 2022 edition of AEW Rampage. You know, this was such a fun match. I mean, I don't even like Sammy Guevara. You guys know that I think he's overrated as hell. But even he impressed me in this match. There were really cool spots, just all around great action, just very fast paced. You couldn't miss it. I mean, well deserved in my opinion to be on the list. And the match didn't even last that long, I don't think, because of course it's AEW Rampage. It's 1 hour. So the fact that they were just able to do so good in that little time, in my opinion, well deserved to be on the list at number 9. So coming in at number 8, we have the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros. And I can promise you all this will definitely most likely be the last time you see a match from AEW Rampage be on this list. But I think the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros, obviously this was on the June 3rd, 2022 edition of AEW Rampage, is at number 8 because, again, kind of like with the three-way dance, y'all, this was fast-paced action. You couldn't miss it. The Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros have that great chemistry. Like, I don't think since I've seen the Young Bucks and Lucha Bros fight, rather it be in Mexico, rather it be at Double or Nothing, rather it be on an episode of Rampage or an episode of Dark even, I don't think the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros have had a match where you can say, well, good God, man, that match was bad. I never want to see these guys wrestle again. Every time Young Bucks and Lucha Bros get announced, everybody be like, "Oh, I got to see it." All the AEW diehards be like, "God, I'm about to get excited because the Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks are about to fight." I can see why though people will call this match a little spot fest, choreographed dance and all that stuff, which is obviously perfectly fine. But to me, I thought it was good for what it was worth, and obviously it was good because it's on number 8 on the top 10 AEW matches of the year for 2022. Coming in at number 7, the Jericho Appreciation Society versus the BCC Blood and Guts 2022. I still don't understand the philosophy of continuing the feud between the Jericho Appreciation Society and the Blackpool Combat Club after Blood and Guts. After the Blood and Guts, because it literally was that. Blood and guts. I think almost everyone in this match was bleeding. Freaking Chris Jericho was getting twirled around on top of the freaking cage. And adding insult to injury, Sammy Guevara, his boy, gets thrown off the cage onto a table or whatever. He gets thrown off the cage, which was definitely one of the big highlights of the match. And of course, the Jericho Appreciation Society lose, the BCC win. So, I just don't get why you continue to feud. That's like my major complaint with this match, that this feud is still continuing after this. But from a match standpoint, I just thought with the gut, with the physicality and the action and all that good stuff, it's at number 7 on this top 10 list. Coming in at number 6, Hangman Adam Page versus Bryan Danielson. This was for the AEW World Title. This was on the January 5th edition of AEW Dynamite. This is actually pretty interesting because this was actually the first AEW Dynamite since moving to TBS. This was the first match of them being on AEW Dynamite for TBS. And what a way to start it. I thought this match was really good. I even thought it was even better than their Iron Man match. Like, you know, because when it comes to Iron Man matches, it depends. Like, I know Kurt Angle and Brock, I thought they had the best 60-minute Iron Man match I've ever seen. But then it's like, sometimes they drag on, and I felt like watching Hangman and Danielson, it kind of dragged on at some points for me. And it may have not for you, but for me, it was like, dang, this match kind of drags a little bit. But I think with Hangman and Danielson, they were really going at it in this one. I thought Hangman going over was the right decision at the time. Not saying that Danielson winning the title would have been a bad idea, but Hangman, he needed the win really more than Danielson. And I just thought this was a great TV title match for the world title, their biggest title in the company. And again, a great way to get started on your debut in AEW Dynamite on TBS. So coming in number 6 hot. Coming in at number 5, we have the Jericho Appreciation Society and the BCC Anarchy in the Arena AEW Double or Nothing 2022. What could top the Blood and Guts match? Definitely Anarchy in Arena. You want to talk about anarchy. You want to talk about chaos. You want to talk about mayhem. This match was certainly all three roped into one. I mean, for crying out loud, bro, what I thought was so funny, yet so cool and entertaining at the same time. They had Jon Moxley's Wild Things, bro. I think the song was playing for like a good 5 to 7 minutes until they was like, all right, we got to stop it now. But they were literally fighting. I mean, punching each other in the face, going all around the ring, all around the arena, while the damn song was still playing. It was literally one of them scenes you saw in like them action movies or them bar fights in like Roadhouse or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And it was funny, but it was like, dang, it's kind of entertaining at the same time. Let me get my popcorn and watch these guys just beat each other up like some outsiders in the Rumble type crap. But it was a really good match in the end, and Jericho Appreciation Society, of course, got the win. But from a match standpoint, just in my opinion, so good. I had to put it on this list, and I had to put it at number on top 5 of this AEW matches of 2022. Okay, so coming in at number 4, you guys are probably going to be shocked I didn't rate this any lower on the list, but in my opinion, it's still deserving to be on the list no matter what. And that's Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy for the IWGP US Heavyweight title at AEW/New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door. On a night where we saw New Japan Pro Wrestling, All Elite Wrestling, come together to put on one big massive show for the very first time, something that I would say a lot of the AEW diehard fans have wanted to see since the moment AEW was born into existence, because again, you know, it's the AEW diehards. This match was something. Hell, going into this match, I said it in my predictions, and you can literally go back and see it. I said that this was a match that was going to definitely be one of the show stealer, one of the matches that people were going to go back and be like, damn, that was definitely match of the night. And it was that. It was one of the best matches of the night. Hell, some people were saying it was the match of the night. I mean, rightfully so. Will Ospreay and Orange Cassidy going at it. Yes, Orange Cassidy wasn't going to win the match, but it was still a feel-good moment to see him take that fight to Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay, of course, being who he is, showing that he is one of the best wrestlers on the planet. And I mean, it was just a great bout for the IWGP US Heavyweight title. Will Ospreay, I heard, was bouncing a lot too during that summer too. Like he and Okada, people were saying their match was best match in New Japan that year. So that should tell you a lot how highly Will Ospreay is to these fans. And again, this isn't the last time, because coming in at number 3, Will Ospreay does it again. Death Triangle versus the United Empire on the August 24, 2022 edition of AEW Dynamite. Definitely considered in many people's eyes as one of the best matches of this entire Trios tournament. Now again, kind of similar to my Young Bucks and Lucha Bros talk. This match may seem a little spot festy, more of a choreographed dance more than an actual fight, which again, if you look at this match as that way, that is completely understandable. But when it comes to athletic ability, high flying aspect, I mean, just all around, all over the place, fast paced, you name it, this match definitely had all that roped into one. This was a match that was like, wow. And I was like, dang, I didn't think they were going to go 30 minutes. I'm thinking they're going to get like 10, 15 minutes, go out there, do their stuff, and then boom, yada, boom, that's it. But nah, these guys went, I think, for a good 30 minutes, which was like, wow. That even Tony Khan was like, we got to give them the 30, you know. I got to see them cook, you know what I'm saying? And I guess he cooked well, because they're number 3 on this list. Now, coming in at number 2. We don't put Ring of Honor on this list, but come on, you can't have the top 10 matches of AEW and not mention this team. FTR versus the Young Bucks. There's a lot of tag team matches on this list. I'm just now noticing that, obviously, because, well, AEW is very prioritized on their tag team wrestling. Anyways, FTR versus the Young Bucks 2. This was for the Ring of Honor and the AAA tag team titles. This was on the April 6, 2022 edition of AEW Dynamite. I thought FTR and the Young Bucks 2, I mean, I thought it was low-key slightly better than their match at Full Gear. Like, their match at Full Gear was good, don't get me wrong, but, you know, I thought this match was just as good. You know? Seeing FTR get that win over the Young Bucks, you know, also getting their win back from Full Gear was just satisfying. And I know people have wanted to see FTR and the Young Bucks 3, and I thought we were going to see that, but I guess the universe doesn't, the wrestling gods doesn't want us to see it, which is fine, I guess, you know. But, man, this match was everything. High emotion, tension at an all-time high, close spots, very close near falls, you name it. I actually thought for one split second the Bucks were going to win, and then FTR pulls it out, and boom, yada boom, they got the win. So, definitely a match that you need to check out if you haven't already. Man, this was a great match and a really good display of tag team wrestling for AEW. But of course, coming in at the number 1 spot, Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus CM Punk dog collar match at AEW Revolution. Now you're probably thinking, now why is it that you put MJF and CM Punk at number 1, but you didn't put any of the FTR matches, you didn't put any of the Bucks matches, you didn't even put a Will Ospreay match at number 1? MJF and CM Punk, and you know, regardless of how you feel about CM Punk, now I know everybody on this earth damn near hates CM Punk, you know, want to beat him up for what he said, but you can't admit the fact, like, even a CM Punk hater will probably admit this, probably. CM Punk MJF was the best feud in AEW. It was simply handily the best feud of AEW. I can't see any other feud that AEW has put on this year that has been that highly drama-filled and storytelling emotion. And that's what sports entertainment / professional wrestling it's all about. It's all about storytelling, because storytelling is your way of emotionally getting the fans invested. And I think that MJF and CM Punk did that. They took a good story that emotionally got fans in, to the point where one point we were actually sympathizing for MJF, only for MJF to show us that he is the devil himself, and what he did to CM Punk. I mean, just everything. I mean, the match was, again, tension at an all-time high, drama-filled emotion. Wardlow coming out, obviously Wardlow being one of the main compactors as to why CM Punk won the match. You can't get any better than this, you know. I thought MJF and CM Punk, I thought it was easily one of the best feuds. Eddie Kingston and Punk would have been probably number 1, but I will admit they had like a 2-week stretch. I feel like if more time with that probably would have overtook the MJF feud. But you know, it's kind of hard not to deny MJF and Punk was the number 1 feud of AEW this past year. Even though we may never, maybe not, but as of right now, we may never get that MJF versus CM Punk 3, and MJF finally getting his comeuppance, you know what I'm saying, on Phil, on old Phil Brooks. Anyways, that has been my top 10 AEW matches of 2022. I'm so glad. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully everyone has a very safe Christmas Eve and even Christmas Day. I will be back tomorrow with my top 10 WWE matches of 2022. If you like this AEW video, you're definitely going to join the WWE one. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment. This has been the Kid DC Wrestling. And so, yeah.